What's going on, people? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Things We Learn. As you guys already know, this is the show where we go through all the major talking points of the latest England game, that being the 3-0 win over Senegal in the World Cup. And yeah, we're going to get into all the major talking points. Still no Chelsea news, no main topics, but Chelsea will be back on our screens on Sunday afternoon as they play Aston Villa in a friendly in Abu Dhabi, I think. That's going to be live on the Fifth Stand app, so we are going to be doing a live watch along to that as well. So stay tuned. If you guys want to be the first to know whenever that stream does come out, hit the bell notification button so you can be the first to know whenever any sort of content comes out on this channel. Also, hit the like button, helps the channel out a lot. Subscribe if you guys haven't done so already. Check out my personal channel, Carefree Lewis G. Link will be in the title as well as in the description below. And yeah, let's get into it. England 3, Senegal 0. A much more comprehensive performance than I expected. It was a bit cagey at the start, bit slow, lethargic. We let Senegal have a couple half chances in our box, which they debatably could have done a little bit better with as well. The whole game could have changed if they had a slightly better finish on their chances. But it did look a little bit worrying initially, but all it took was one goal for the entire swing of the game to change. And England took 2 goals into half-time within the space of the last 10 minutes. One finish from Henderson, which was really coolly taken. A second one-on-one from Harry Kane, which we all know what the end result is going to be for that sort of situation. And England were in total control by half-time. And in the second half, you could afford to play a lot slower. You could afford to play with a bit less intensity because we were in complete control of the game. And Saka got a third goal very early into the second half, I think, or around the first 15-20 minutes. And by that point, all hope for Senegal is just killed off. And it's all just about retaining energy, conserving yourself, rotating where necessary. With the France game in mind on Saturday. And that's probably going to be where the journey ends for England. And it is what it is. France are a much better side. They're not going to be favourites going into that game. And all the more reason why not. But even if that's the case, I think England have gone as far as I expect them to go. And that leads into my first point, and that's on Gareth Southgate, because it's very easy to criticise him. And I've been the first to do it as well. I've said he's timid in his setup, too defensive at times, especially with games that we could easily win if we were a bit more progressive. Sometimes the substitutions have let him down, especially in big moments like the Euros final, for example. But he's also taking England as far as I can expect them to go. And fair play to him for that. And also in the last 2 tournaments, debatably, he's taken England further than we've expected them to go. Like, granted, in 2018, it was because we got given a very easy bracket to progress through. But 2020, I don't think a lot of people are expecting England to make the final. I think a lot of people are expecting England to lose to Germany as well when we played them, I think, in the group stage. But we did a lot better than a lot of people expected. And if England get eliminated by France, I'm not going to get at him too much unless he makes like some mad decisions in the lineup or in terms of his substitutions. But in terms of Southgate being a manager after this World Cup, I could totally understand it, because 3 tournaments on the bounce, at the bare minimum, he's taken England as far as people have expected them to go. At the max, he's taken them to a final. And I don't know the last time England have made a final. Someone else let me know in the comment section below. But Southgate's doing a lot better than I've given him credit for. I could understand if England tried to upgrade. There are better managerial options out there, but Southgate knows what he's doing with these cup competitions. Even if it is frustrating at times, like, we are getting results. We're going as far as the country's expected to go, and fair play to him for that. So my first point, Southgate is quietly silencing a lot of doubters, and you got to give credit where it's due for that one. Second point, seeing as it is still a Chelsea channel, we will try and keep this focused on the Chelsea players. Koulibaly. I want to have a talk about Koulibaly because I really don't think he was as bad in that game or even in the whole tournament as people are making him out to be. Yeah, he did commit himself a little bit early a few times in that game, and we have seen that side of Koulibaly a lot in the Premier League, but let's not act like that's the only Koulibaly that we've seen. I've seen a very, very composed centre-back who has marshalled his back line really well in the whole tournament. He's looked like one of the best centre-backs in the whole tournament in the group stage. Won the man of the match against Ecuador, which I do think he deserved as well. I know the man of the match award, you can only take it to a certain level of seriousness because there's some crazy nominations for that award that made no sense, like De Bruyne whenever he won it, or Havertz has won against Costa Rica. There's lots of ones that don't make a lot of sense, but Koulibaly's one was deserved, and he has had an unreal tournament for Senegal. And I know he didn't look great in that England game, but I thought he was still one of Senegal's better players. He was just marshalling a backline that just couldn't really cope with England, and I still thought he was the best of a bad bunch out there. Like, granted, yeah, it wasn't perfect, but I don't expect it to be perfect, especially when you're receiving no support around you. He was literally holding the defence together by himself. So I feel like Koulibaly is the last person people should be pointing at for this sort of defeat. The person I'm going to go into next, fair enough. I'm not going to make any sort of defence about him. But Koulibaly, I thought, did the best he could against England. And I thought he's had a really good tournament. So I don't understand the criticism behind him. In terms of his Premier League football, yeah, he looks sloppy. He looks rash at times. But that's clearly him adjusting to a new league. Serie A is a much slower league. The Premier League's a lot faster and a lot more intense. He is going to struggle as a result of that. He just needs time. And a lot of people aren't giving him time because of his age. Fair enough. I understand the age argument, but this is why age should only be taken so seriously. Adaptation is key as well, and he needs that time to adapt. Give him till the end of the season, start next season. If it's the same sloppiness, fair enough. But as of right now, I don't think Koulibaly deserves a lot of criticism. Moving on to my third point, though. Edouard Mendy. I cannot save you, my friend. I can't save you the same way I'm trying to save Koulibaly. You have not come out of this World Cup looking well. I thought he did... There was not really a lot of saves that stood out to me. Like, the more I'm trying to think about it, like, England, I thought it'd be a bit harsh to say he should have done better for all of the goals. I do think for the first goal, he could have done a bit better for. You could debate the third, but I think that might be a bit harsh to say as well. It's just because his stocks are really low. You're going to look at that and think he should have done better with that too. Second goal, I won't say anything too much about, but his distribution looks the exact same. Hasn't covered himself in glory. Didn't look great against the Netherlands either. I could hold him accountable for both of the goals conceded in that game too. And we all know Chelsea are already looking to move on from Mendy anyway, so it is what it is. But Mendy has not helped himself coming out of this World Cup, and I don't think he comes out of it looking any better than he did when he left for the World Cup. But it is what it is. Some people you can save, some people you cannot. Moving on to my fourth point, Jude Bellingham absolutely stood out yesterday. And I know there's been a lot of links from him to Chelsea, all across Europe, to be honest. Liverpool, Man City, Real Madrid, I think Bayern Munich as well. All over Europe, they're looking at Jude Bellingham. And I don't think he's had the most consistent tournament, but he had a statement performance yesterday. The assist for the first goal, the pre-assist for the second one. He looks so good when he's driving the ball forward. His decision-making, his dribbling, his passing, his end product looked brilliant. But there are still areas of his game that do need to be honed out. He does still need to bring that consistency into his game as well. But he is also only 19. And as a 19-year-old, I think those sorts of dips are a lot more understandable at that age. I still wouldn't spend over 100 million on him, but I can see the quality, I can see the hype, I can see the potential. I would understand if we went out for him for that much, but I wouldn't really push for it, because I think for that sort of amount, you could strengthen your midfield with 2 or 3 players, and that's a bigger priority to us right now. But Jude Bellingham definitely stands out. I see the quality, I see the ability in the player. Last point. It's on Mason Mount. I'm not going to say too much about it because everyone's going to say I have an agenda. But if you're a Mason Mount fan, you'll agree with me on this. Do not start him against France. Because all I have seen across the timeline from social media is people saying, look how well we're playing without Mason Mount in the team. Look how much everyone's cooking. Look how much everyone's eating in this sort of game. If Mount starts against France and we lose, and I expect us to lose anyway, because France is just a much better team than us. If Mount starts and we lose, he is the scapegoat immediately. He's immediately the scapegoat. And yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that. So for his sake, don't start him against France. Like, it is what it is. He hasn't really imposed himself on this tournament. We move. Just don't put him in the spotlight like that, because they're just going to blame him for it anyway, regardless of what happens. But let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe to Chelsea Fan TV. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, up the Chelsea.